Today we're here to talk about risotto, but not just any risotto. The best risotto that either of us have ever had in our lives. Is that fair to say?
Absolutely. And just the memory of that risotto makes me drooling.
Not too long ago, we happened to be passing through the Italian city of Verona, of Romeo and Juliet fame.
She speaks.
And for those who are more interested in food, is the city of the very famous Pandoro.
Oh, the Christmas cake thing?
Sì.
Right. While we were there, we happened to go to a restaurant, Cafe Monte Baldo. If you ever find yourself in Verona, highly recommended. We went there and ordered a risotto that is very typical, they would say, from the region.
Sì, specific from that area of Italy.
It was unlike any risotto I'd ever had or heard of, but it was the best risotto I'd ever eaten, and Ava agreed with me. Also, my brother, who was with us, agreed. So we'd like to share that risotto with you today, but also a couple other risotto recipes, because it got me thinking about how when most people, I think, go to make risotto, they stick to sort of a few really classic versions, whether it's
Risotto alla milanese.
yeah, with saffron, the saffron risotto.
Risotto with mushroom.
Mushrooms.
Risotto with squash.
Yeah.
They are all amazing.
All very good.
All amazing. But there are some others risotto that they can be as good as the one that we mentioned before, but maybe a little bit more unusual, like the one that we liked a lot.
So that's what we're up to today. Ava is going to cook not only the risotto we had in Verona, but also a couple other risotto variations that you've probably never had before, but you might want to try.
We always recommend for someone who never made the risotto to start with the basic risotto, which is risotto al parmigiano. It's one of the risotto that we included in our cookbook because it's the simplest risotto that you can make. What we are going to do now is the same of risotto al parmigiano with just one ingredient added. And these ingredients for today is rosemary.
Does that make this risotto al Rosmarino?
This is risotto al Rosmarino, and believe me that the smell of this fresh rosemary is already incredible. The first step when you make a risotto is to take a pot, make it very hot, and when it's very hot you can toss your rice in and start to toast the rice.
You can... Oh, I thought you said toast the rice in, but you said toss the rice in.
Toss the rice and then toast
and then
the
toast
rice.
it. Toss it and then toast it.
Yes. For this recipe, I'm using carnaroli rice. Now, if you don't find the carnaroli rice, you can use also arborio. But I warmly recommend to find it because it's the best rice for a risotto. While the rice is toasting, we start with the basic ingredient for every risotto, which are butter and onion. But this time I'm going to add also the rosemary because we are making risotto al Rosmarino. We need to saute the onion until the onion is translucent and tender, which means 3 minutes, 4 minutes. Now that 3 minutes are passed and our rice is well toasted, we turn off the rice and we add the rice into butter, onion and rosemary. And we start to mix. And this is the moment in which we add the other fundamental ingredient for every risotto, which means white wine. We need to let the wine completely evaporate. When it's completely gone, we can start with adding our vegetable broth that I prepared a little bit before with celery, carrots, potatoes and tomatoes. As you can see, the wine is completely evaporated, which means that we can start with the vegetable broth. What about the salt, because until now I didn't talk about the salt. That is one of my favorite ingredients. We don't need to salt the risotto because the risotto, the rice will absorb the salt from the broth. So be sure to salt your broth in a way in which then all your dish is very well salted.
If your broth tastes good, your risotto will taste good.
See, if you can actually try your broth and it tastes good that you would drink, your risotto will taste good. What we need to do now is just let the rice simmer into the broth until the rice will be perfectly cooked al dente. The only thing that we need to do is keeping an eye on the risotto, because when the risotto it will dress out too much, what we need to do is to add a little bit of broth in the way in which the rice has always some liquid in which it can simmer. There is one thing that a lot of people, when they cook the risotto, they like to do, which means standing close to the pot and just stirring all the time. You don't need to do this. The risotto is enough smart to cook by itself. You need just to check on it. Depending on the rice that you are using for your risotto, it can take in between 16 to 18 minutes to be ready. The best way to understand if your rice is ready is actually to try it. Mine is ready. Turn off the heat, put inside a little bit of butter and some Parmigiano Reggiano. And you start to mix. This is what in Italy we call mantecare. And this is what will make your risotto very, very creamy. When all the cheese and all the butter is completely melted, and this is a very important step, take a lid and let your risotto rest for 3 minutes.
So as you pointed out before, risotto al parmigiano is one of the simplest risotti you can make, but do not let that fool you because it is one of the best. In its simplicity, it's amazing. And when you have a dish that's so simple, I know that just by adding one ingredient, rosemary, it's going to completely change the dish.
So the smell of this risotto is... So it's the smell of a good risotto plus the smell of rosemary.
Which is one of the best smells, let's be
in
honest.
The world.
It's maybe my favorite, like, savory flavor. Things with rosemary in it, I'm just an absolute sucker for.
For me, it's like rosemary and basil.
Oh, yeah.
So maybe next time we can think of making a basil risotto.
All right, let's see how it is. It's definitely creamy.
It's a risotto.
Buon appetito.
Buon appetito.
Oh, yes.
The only thing that he can say is yes.
Yes. That's kind of all you should say to this risotto is yes. Just as beautiful in its simplicity, but that rosemary again, it totally changes it, but gives it just this wonderful.
It has a fresh taste because the rosemary at the end, it has that Mediterranean flavor. And come on, it's pretty easy to make. What you need at the end is just a few ingredients.
Yeah.
Obviously. It's better to use a fresh rosemary because the dried rosemary doesn't have all the flavor of the fresh rosemary. When you use the wine, use a wine that actually you could drink and not a very cheap wine that almost resembles a vinegar. Also the rice, the quality of rice makes the difference.
Can I share with you a revelation I had in the shower this morning?
Yeah, not just with me.
No, I'm serious. As one does when one is showering, I was thinking about risotto. you know, just a normal shower. Okay, I know we're talking about rice and risotto, but this applies equally to pasta. So I'm gonna use pasta as an example. And this is a little bit embarrassing that it took me this long to really make all of this click in my mind, but it finally did today, okay? So if you watch this channel much before, you've probably heard Eva say about 1,000,000 times that if you're looking for a good pasta or a good rice, one of the key indicators that tells you if it's good or not is the cook time. So if you are looking for a pasta to buy, look for the ones that have the longer cook times. If it has a really short cook time, it's probably not very good. Same goes for rice. I don't know why, I guess I never thought about it very much, but in my mind, I think I always sort of thought of that as being, the cook time wasn't the desirable quality, but it was like a symptom of quality. So if you had a good pasta, it would also have a long cook time, or if you had a good rice, it would also have a long cook time. What I realized this morning in the shower is that the long cook time is the thing that you want. It is the desirable quality. Now you might be asking, Harper, why would I want my pasta or my rice to take longer to cook? And the reason is because that's how you're able to much more easily get the texture you want. Because if you have a pasta that cooks in 4 minutes, which some very terrible brands of pasta do.
That's robbery.
A pasta that cooks that quick, it's just gonna go from al dente to mush like that. But if you have a rice or a pasta that really is cooked slowly, then you just gradually work up to that. And if you overcook it by a minute, it's fine. And if you undercook it by a minute, it broadens the time that you have to reach the right texture. I always thought that the qualities you were looking for were like taste and texture, and that the cook time was just sort of an indicator. But I realized this morning, like actually that cook time, that's really important, and you want that longer cook time.
It took to you how many years to understand this?
Like 6 years. Thank you. Thank you. Yep. Only took me 6 years.
By the way,
what do you do in the shower?
I don't think about the cooking time of pasta.
You don't?
No, I don't.
Is that just me?
See, maybe it's just you, Harper. I think about what I can cook for lunch, for dinner, but not about the cooking time of pasta.
Well, you're always welcome to cook this for lunch or dinner. The next risotto, I sort of know what you're gonna do, only because it was a little bit of a request on my part.
Let's call it risotto that puts together the south and the north of Italy.
It's something that I thought theoretically might exist, and turns out it kind of does. Before we get to that though, a quick word about today's video sponsor. Let's say you're traveling around, I don't know, maybe going to Verona to try the risotto. For sure, in this day and age, you want to stay connected on your phone, but that can be a little bit of a problem. International roaming charges from your existing carrier can be astronomical. You can get a SIM card and a plan in a foreign country, but it's a total pain, and usually you have to sign up for a mobile plan that comes with a bunch of strings attached. By far, the better solution is UBG. UBG is an app that offers eSIM plans in over 200 destinations worldwide. And eSIM is an electronic SIM. So rather than a physical SIM card that you have to put into that little tray in your phone, you just load it up through the app. Most phones these days are eSIM compatible. Those little chips are kind of a thing of the past. It's super easy to set up on your phone. You just do it all through the app. It just takes a few seconds, and your eSIM will just automatically activate when you get to your destination. With the UBG app, you can get flexible data plans for wherever you're planning on going. The plans are affordable. They're custom made to meet your specific needs. There's no commitment, no strings attached, and it means that while you're on the go, you can check your email, keep up with the news, use your GPS, maybe watch a YouTube video. We've found that UBG has really great coverage wherever we go. That's because they usually partner with multiple different mobile carriers, which means that if you're in a given place, they're not just relying on, say, one tower. They'll find the best signal for you. There's no need to put up with surprise data roaming charges anymore. Download the app today, visit ubg.com/pastagrammar and use promo code PASTAGRAMMAR to get 10% off your eSIM plan. A big thank you to UBG for sponsoring this video.
As many of you already know, Harper is obsessed with Calabrian Nduja.
Yes, I am.
For those very few people who still don't know what Nduja is, we put a link up here in some place where we explain everything about Calabrian Nduja. Now, Harper had Nduja in every kind of possible ways, which means bruschetta, pasta, pizza, calzone, focaccia, even gelato.
Even
and
gelato,
chocolate,
that's
even
true.
gelato with Nduja, and also chocolate with Nduja. But it's just recently that it comes to his mind if risotto with Nduja exists. And it's obvious that yes, you can make a risotto with Nduja. I start to cook my risotto more or less 6 or 7 minutes ago. I don't want to say halfway through all the cooking process, but a little bit before, it's time to add the Nduja. How much Nduja you need to add? Here the answer is how much you like, because it depends how your palate is suitable for the spiciness or not. It's up to you.
Yeah, you can really add as much as you want, Eva, and I'll be happy.
I know. So what you need to do is just to mix, because the Nduja will melt. And this is also a reason why actually I start this risotto with a little bit less butter, because by the way, Nduja is full of fat. So we want a balanced risotto. We don't want a greasy risotto. What I'm going to add is just a little bit of tomato paste. I'm going to add a second very good ingredient to this risotto, which is Gorgonzola cheese. Nduja Gorgonzola are good as eggplants and tomatoes, peanut butter and jelly, eccetera, eccetera. Some Parmigiano Reggiano, and like before, mantechiamo. We mix it.
So no butter this time, also because of the
because I
Nduja
put
and the Gorgonzola.
and then there is the Gorgonzola. As I said, we want a balanced risotto. We don't want a greasy risotto. And like before, we need to wait 3 minutes.
For those who have not been initiated into the magic,
Word of Nduja.
I think it's something that everyone should try, especially if you like spicy food. And when you pair Nduja with Gorgonzola, whether it's on a pizza or in like a sandwich with hot bread or something.
With the pasta.
Oh, it is just one of the best things ever.
Actually, we made also nachos.
That's right, we did. Nachos with Nduja and Gorgonzola. It's hard to go wrong with Nduja and Gorgonzola, I guess is the point.
Your first risotto with Nduja. Now we choose to make Nduja Gorgonzola. It's also real that you can pair Nduja with a lot of other things, like Nduja and tomato sauce, Nduja and eggplants. I started listening and I looked like Forrest Gump.
Shrimp soup, shrimp stew, shrimp salad.
Okay, buon appetito!
Buon appetito. Spicy and cheesy. Those are my things. Those are my things. Actually, I think this is the first, yeah, for sure. This is the first spicy risotto I've ever had. Largely because risotto traditionally is made in northern Italy where they do not have spicy food.
No, not really.
So this is what happens when southern Italians are like, I want to make risotto.
We just spice things up a little bit.
Oh,
Now,
so good.
this is spicy.
This is very spicy.
It is spicy, but you have the delicate taste. I don't know if I can find delicate taste of Gorgonzola. Because to me it's
Maybe compared to Nduja,
No, but also by itself for
one
me.
of the strongest cheeses there is.
It's one of the best cheese. To me it tastes delicate. It tastes so good.
I don't know about that one. This has a very powerful flavor, I would say.
It's very good.
It's really, really good. We've heard from a lot of people who have been introduced and tried Nduja because they saw it on this channel. If that's you and you've tried Nduja and you really like it, try making a risotto with it. It's really good. By the way, if you live in America where you cannot buy imported Calabrian Nduja and all of the domestically made options are really, really terrible.
Except
for
one.
one. Check out Nduja USA. They are a Calabrian company. In fact, this is their Nduja, but from the Calabrian branch. And they set up shop in Seattle and make really, really good Nduja that's available in America. And use code GRAMMAR at checkout for 10% off. There you go. All right, the time has come to get to the risotto that brought us here today in the first place. The risotto that, even after having these amazing risotto you've made today, I still think is the best risotto I've ever had.
And I completely agree because it was just every single bite was just a bite of heaven.
Now, Ava's gonna show you how to make this risotto at home. The problem is that it does come with a bit of a cost, and I mean that literally.
The risotto that we are going to do now is a very easy risotto. There is nothing too complicated, but it requires very specific ingredients. Number one, the rice. I'm not going to use carnaroli rice like before, but I'm going to use Vialone Nano, which is a specific rice that grows around Verona, where this risotto is from. What do you say, Kiko?
Grain?
Yes, it's a little bit shorter than the carnaroli rice. Number two, cheese. Even in Calabria, it was difficult to find the right cheese.
Impossible, actually.
Impossible, because I didn't.
Couldn't.
So this risotto requires Monte Veronese, which is a cow cheese. It needs to be aged or semi-aged. I didn't find this in Calabria, so I decided to buy this other cheese that is still made in Veneto. The name is Bastardo del Grappa.
The bastard of grappa? Mm-hmm. Okay.
It's a very, very good cheese, believe me, I tried and
With
it's
a name
very
like
good.
that.
It's very good. Is the official one? No, but my friends from Verona, they can forgive me and maybe they can send me some Monte Veronese for the next one. In America or wherever you are in the world, if it's not possible to find the Monte Veronese, if it's not possible to find the Bastardo del Grappa, you can use an aged Asiago. Where the expense comes is about the wine, because this risotto is called risotto all'Amarone, and Amarone is one of the best red wine, not just in Italy but in all over the world. And it's not just one of the best red wine, it's one also of the most expensive red wine. It's also real that you have several levels of Amarone. So you can reach, I don't know, like 700, 800, 900 euros, 1000 euros for a bottle, where you can find one, at least in Italy, that is a little bit more affordable, that is about 30, 40 euros.
Which is still really expensive by Italian standards. That's cheap in America.
See, by Italian standard, it's very expensive. Once you have a bottle of Amarone at home, that it doesn't happen every day, I get you make the risotto, I agree, but you need also to try it and enjoy it a little bit. And this is what I'm going to do. It's something that is so good. It's embarrassing how good this one is. Molto buono. We need to warm up our Amarone. We put on a very low heat.
I assume you don't want it to boil.
No, we need just to warm up. And now we start to add a little bit of the amazing Amarone.
It already smells like that risotto.
So right now I add about half of the Amarone that I'm going to use for this recipe. But as we know, rice needs to cook in broth, so I'm starting to add a little bit of broth and cook it normally, like exactly a normal risotto. A little bit more than halfway through, I'm going to add all the rest of the wine.
Look at that color.
Now the rice is done, and like with all the risotto, we put inside butter, and in this case, the bastardo del grappa or Monte Veronese.
So now the question is, will this be as good as the risotto we had in Verona?
Okay, to my defense, they used the right cheese.
That's true.
So
That's true.
keep in mind this small difference.
It smells the part, that's for sure.
For sure the wine is good, like the one we had in Verona.
I know, but if you didn't live up to the expectation and make the best risotto ever, then it would be a real waste of some good wine now, wouldn't it?
It's not my hope to make my risotto as good as that one, but to be very, very close.
Okay. Oh, it smells so good.
Buon appetito! It's very close. It's very, very close.
She's being humble. This is amazing. This is absolutely amazing.
It is an amazing risotto. Still the best risotto that I have ever cooked in my life. It's very close to that one in the restaurant because there is the acidity of the wine, but the creaminess and the fatness of the cheese.
The cheese and the butter, yeah.
So it's like you feel the acidity, but at the same time is cut by the fatness of the cheese. It's amazing.
And I know that like it seems like a shame to use such a good wine for cooking. I know people aren't used to doing that, but when you taste it, you will understand why. It makes a difference using that wine.
Also because it's like those kind of flavor you can have just if you use those ingredients.
Yeah. Obviously, if you don't use Amarone, it won't be a risotto all'Amarone because how can it be? That being said though, if you use a really good wine and do a similar thing and make a wine risotto, it's not gonna be bad. It's going to be a very good wine risotto, which I don't think many people will ever think to make.
We should go and buy all the very good wine of Italy and start to make risotto. So we made risotto all'Amarone, then the next one will be risotto al Nebbiolo, then we have risotto al Barolo, risotto al Chianti, risotto Montepulciano d'Abruzzo, risotto Ciro Calabrese.
There's pineapple shrimp, lemon shrimp, coconut shrimp.
Thank you guys for watching. We hope we gave you some inspiration to try some different risotto recipes. Who knows, you might find a new favorite. All the recipes will be down in the description below. If you try any of them, tag us in a picture on Instagram or Facebook at Pasta Grammar. Like some Pasta Grammarians recently. We actually have 2 Pasta Grammarians this week because they both made the same thing and it's incredible. Both Tom and Jan Michael, I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, made incredible timbali.
That are a little bit more complicated than a risotto.
Yeah. Usually Eva and I only get a picture from someone who made a timbalo like maybe once a year. Very few people take on that challenge, but I think because we made a video about it recently, some more people decided to give it a shot. So anyway, happy to see that. Thanks for making it, well done. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and we'll see you next time. Ciao.
I know, Harper.
Is there a word for when you do a scarpetta but with your tongue?
No, but this means that this risotto was out of the world.